The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside. And as always, we are live in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. We're talking college football today. It's College Football Thursday here in the Sportsocracy. We welcome everybody in. Thank you for commenting, like, share, follow on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And don't forget to check us out at thesportsocracy.com, where you can hit that button and you can get in on all the action as we make the picks here against the spread for week 4 of the college football season. Bet Us will give you a deposit bonus of 125% just by going and creating an account and making your deposit and using our promo code Sportsocracy. 125%. It's a lot of free money. What are you waiting on?
I am going to make it rain this weekend.
Are you sure?
Pissed at this whole make love to yourself, kiss your sister, 9-9 bullshit.
Yep. 6-6 for 2 straight weeks, and then went 9-9 or 10-10, something like that. This past week, Jeremy you've been deep diving? You've been preparing?
Nope.
No.
Back to basics, baby.
Oh, just throwing a dart at the board.
Trust yourself.
Okay, all right. And so,
trust your motherfucking self.
I don't know if that's the way. I mean,
it's worked for 10 years. Why have I been changing it?
I guess.
Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks. You're good at this. Let go.
I guess you're like Matthew McConaughey's character in 2 for the Money.
You know what I love about 18-year-old girls? I keep getting older. They stay the same age.
Did you at least see that movie?
Yes, they do. No, I did not.
A movie about sports gambling with Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino.
I thought you were asking me about.
Come on, bro.
What the line I just said? What's that from?
Oh, that was Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
You've never seen that movie?
No, I've never seen it. I know that line though.
That's a great movie too.
Yeah, the other one. I have that one.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. Sometimes I say movies and you go, I've never seen it. Like today we were talking about, the guy from Californication died. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I don't remember what you said, the guy from some movie or something. I was like, I have no idea who that. Oh, the guy from Californication, the really weird one? Yeah. He'd never seen Californication. Like, that is the most debaucherous show I have ever seen. And I'm surprised that at least Amy hasn't dragged you into watching that show.
Amy doesn't drag me into watching anything. She just picks things and goes, hey, I think you'll like that. And if I don't, we go to something else.
Nice. So, anyway, we got games to pick here in week 4 of the college football season. It all starts off tonight, actually. We got Thursday night football tonight with Appalachian State and Marshall. So, if you want to throw a little action on that one, which way are you leaning?
App State.
App State.
Easy.
Not even close?
Not even close.
Tomorrow night, Jeremy's Liberty Flames take on Syracuse. We got to start there because they're your little darling.
They are.
What was the stat you told me and Brian the other day about you had won how much against the spread with Liberty?
I don't know how much I've won. I know I've bet them 23 times, I think it was, in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I've missed once. I love Liberty.
So you know Liberty, you know Hugh Freeze.
No, it's not that I know them. It's that Vegas gets them wrong. Because they play so many games against little draggy-ass teams that nobody can ever figure out what they are.
Right.
The fact that they're only a 6-point favorite against Syracuse is dumb.
Especially seeing as how they beat them by 17 last year, and they're a better team this year than they were last year.
Syracuse is worse than they were last year. Syracuse doesn't have a quarterback. They have 2.
The Flames do. Flames got a pretty damn good quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
Malik Willis, he's pretty damn good, throwing the ball and on the move. I don't see this game being close at all.
I can't figure out what it is that people are seeing. Old Syracuse beat the hell out of Ohio, which was in Ohio, which should tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
Their home and homes are with the Ohio Bobcats. Woof. Oh, they beat Albany by 40. I was today years old when I found out Albany had a football team.
Mm-hmm.
That's not It's funnier that way. This game won't be close.
Yeah.
Malik Willis is going to Malik Willis may have 400 total yards in this game.
I can get down with that. The one thing that Syracuse has done well so far in the season is get in the backfield, get pressure on the quarterback. Here's the thing. They haven't faced a quarterback like Malik Willis. He is going to be able to get away. And guess what? They chase him outside of the pocket. I don't know that there's a guy on that Syracuse defense that could stop him.
Nah. This game won't be close. Take Liberty easy. That
Liberty
will be
-6.
a green-on-green pick tomorrow.
Yeah. Then let's get into the Saturday slate. At noon, you got number 12 Notre Dame in Chicago at Soldier Field to take on number 18 Wisconsin. Jack Cohn going up against his former team. He was at Wisconsin for 3 years and then broke his leg last year, broke his foot, something like that. It was an injury. Graham Mertz comes in, and they're stuck with Graham Mertz. He transfers out to Notre Dame, and now he's got a chance to get some payback.
This is ridiculously easy for me. Mm-hmm. I use the Vegas power rankings. That is how I rank teams. Where is Notre Dame?
7.
They're 9.
Okay.
Where's Wisconsin?
14.
27.
Ooh.
This game's easy. It's Notre Dame. People are freaking out. They barely beat Purdue. Okay. Okay.
And
I do not care.
And Notre Dame is the dog in this game?
Yep. Notre Dame's catching 6.5.
Yep.
Which is stupid.
Graham Mertz is yet to throw a touchdown pass this
because they
year.
can't score.
Uh-huh.
So now you're going to go up against Kyle Hamilton, which, by the way, I don't give a damn what you think about Notre Dame. The defense is good. Though they gave up so many points to Florida State. Really look at how they did that. Mm-hmm. One was one huge 90-yard run on a busted coverage. Kyle Hamilton was all over the field. You don't think he's going to do that against Wisconsin, who has no weapons whatsoever? Florida State has better weapons than Wisconsin does. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's not even close. And Graham Mertz, he's not good. Whether you think he's good or not, that's totally up to you. Another fun stat I like to give. How much does your quarterback move the number? For posterity's, name a high-end quarterback.
In college football? Mm-hmm. I'd say Spencer Rattler.
He moves the number 4.5 points. How much does Graham Mertz move a number?
1.
He loses half a point. He loses half a point for you. He's not good. And alternatively, people say, well, what about Jack Cohn? Well, he's a net negative.
Yeah.
Or a net neutral, I mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse. They're not going to be this bad running the ball forever. Mm-hmm. Kyron Williams is a good running back, and I can't tell you it's this week that he gets on track. I'm going to tell you. In Chicago, Soldier Field, big stage, Notre Dame's been here, Wisconsin hasn't. Give me the Irish.
Don't care that Paul Christ has had 2 weeks to figure this out?
I don't care if Paul Christ has had 9 years to figure it out. At the end of the day, his quarterback's still Graham Mertz. They still can't move the ball. I don't think Penn State's that good, which is what that's the impetus a lot of people are using.
Yep.
Oh, well, Notre Dame struggled with Florida State.
Yep.
It was close with Akron. I don't care. I've said this forever. All I care, do you win, do you lose? Do you think Texas A&M and Colorado are in a dead heat with each other? No. No. Can you overlook teams? Are you figuring things out? Are you doing things against a team that you're getting Notre Dame's A game? They have 4 games all year that really matter to them. This is the second one.
Mm-hmm. I'm on your side. Notre Dame plus the 6.5 against Wisconsin in Chicago. LSU takes on Mississippi State. They are in Mississippi State for this one, and part of me has to believe that while LSU's not the world beater that they were in the national championship year, and last year was tough, do you honestly think that Ed Orgeron and that defense is not going to be keyed up to prove a point after what Mississippi State did to them last year? Mm-hmm. Remember, it was the first game of the Mike Leach era in the SEC. KJ Costello throws for 638 yards or whatever it was.
It's also known as the KJ Costello game.
Yeah.
The only one.
Yeah.
It's the only one he ever had.
Mm-hmm.
See, to me, this one's easy, too.
Yeah, LSU minus 2.5.
Easy.
They're going to cover this number.
Easy.
Yes.
Vegas rankings. Where's LSU? I'm curious to see how close you can get to this.
22.
18. One spot ahead of Ole Miss.
I thought I was shooting too high.
Yeah, one spot ahead of Ole Miss.
Okay.
All right, conversely, where's Mississippi State?
87.
43rd. Actually tied for 43rd with Central Florida and Arizona State.
Right.
If LSU's played the two teams I just said, what would the number be? Mm-hmm. I can tell you actually what the number would be.
What?
Against Central Florida on a neutral field, they'd be a 9-point favorite. Against Arizona State on a neutral field, they'd be a 10-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with the same team, just with a much kookier coach.
Yeah.
It's LSU.
Yeah.
And I think this one's easy as hell.
I think so as well.
Eric Wallace. We're like a meeting for sports fans.
Welcome, Eric.
Welcome in. Everyone's taking LSU for revenge. I agreed with that until I looked at the numbers on this. It's much closer than I thought.
What
Let me
is?
find it. I lost my page.
What's much closer?
You're going in a weird order, so it's hard for me to keep these things.
I'm going by the time order. We went over this yesterday.
You didn't tell me the games in order, and you've already gone backwards once. Cash, as of right now, Cash is 82% Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Think about what I just said. Cash is 82% Mississippi State. Tickets are almost dead heat.
Yeah.
53-47.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vegas is right, and I think the public's wrong. There is nothing about Mississippi State that I look at and go, yeah, let's do that. Mm-hmm. You mean turnover-worthy plays they've had all year long?
How many? 3.
You think that's going to continue against LSU? Mm-hmm. They say the offense sucks, but defense to defense, compare this to what Mississippi State has played. You think LSU's a comparison to NC State? Because I don't. This game's easy. LSU.
Easy. LSU minus the 2.5. Don't forget you can lock in your wager at betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Deposit match of 125% just for using our promo code Sportsocracy.
And somebody made a shitload of money on Bet Us, and I would love to know who it was.
Texas Tech and Texas. This one's in Austin. You got Tyler Shuck coming to town. You got Casey Thompson has now taken back over at quarterback. Hudson Card, the redshirt freshman, got hurt last week. So Casey Thompson's back. And the Longhorns just got slaughtered by Arkansas. I like Texas Tech plus the 8 on this game. I can't believe that Texas is right. Does that make sense? Like just seeing what Texas has done already this season, they're not what they want to be, obviously, because their expectations are excised. But I think Texas Tech is going to be able to hang in with them. Tough.
I have bounced back and forth on this because these two teams are closer than people want to insinuate that they are. The fact you're taking Texas Tech makes me really want to lay Texas.
I know you always want to go opposite me.
Well, because history tells me that that's a path to righteousness.
Well,
I just look at Texas Tech and go, you've played dead heat with Houston and Stephen F. Austin. This is your first. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going Texas.
yeah.
I said at the beginning of the show, trust your gut. My gut says that the betting public is wrong on this because they're overvaluing what they saw out of Texas against Arkansas. Arkansas is a difficult place to play. Texas A&M's about to find that out this weekend, especially when you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Texas Tech that there's nothing that excites me.
Tyler Shuck doesn't do it for
I
him.
like Tyler Shuck. The problem is that if you look at his numbers against pressure versus not against pressure, clean versus dirty pocket, his numbers regress aggressively. And there's been a lot of dirty pocket against Stephen F. Austin and Florida International.
Yep.
At the end of the day, no matter what you think about Texas or Steve Sarkisian or whatever the case may be, the defense is markedly more talented than that. I'm going to take Texas minus the 8. I'm going against all the metrics in this. Yeah. The metrics have led me down the path of not salvation. So fuck it. We use these right here.
I don't think Texas Tech is going to be able to shut down the Texas running game, but I think they'll be more of a hamper than, say, I don't know, Rice. I've seen a lot of people point, they can run the ball. Texas Tech can't handle running teams. Well, they haven't played any running teams yet, so I don't know how we would know that.
Because they never have. I mean, over the course of 10 years, they've been in the bottom third of Power 5 football against the run.
Right, but
and I get Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Name me a running back they've seen that's even worth, that's even in the ballpark of that. There's not one.
They haven't.
I'm taking Texas.
They haven't. I'm taking Texas Tech plus the 8. I think they will keep this closer than that. Texas will outright win the game. But more than a touchdown to me is too much.
The metrics all say that you should go the Texas Tech side. I am bucking the metrics, and I'm taking Texas.
Clemson and NC State.
This is one where I'm not bucking the metrics.
The number 9 Clemson Tigers go to Carter Finley Stadium for a 3:30 matchup with the NC State Wolfpack. And I'll be honest with you, the whole narrative that you've been throwing out about they were in the locker room for 2 hours with a weather delay against Georgia Tech, that's why they look so bad. I don't know. I mean, sure, that had something to do with it.
It absolutely had something to do with it. Did you ever have that happen to you?
But this is not Clemson.
Did you ever have that happen to you, where you came out and warmed up, and then you had to sit on your ass for 2 hours?
No.
Then you don't realize how tight you get. Straight up. It allows bad teams to play close with good teams. And at the end of the day, Georgia Tech's not a horrible team. They just don't have the players to do what it is they're after. And guess what? Clemson's heard this all week long.
Yes, they have.
This is one of those weeks that I'm just veering to. I've always said there are goal fixtures in Vegas for a reason. So you look at what the public's doing, and you do the other shit. The public is heavy on NC State.
Yes, they are.
Why?
Because
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did, and I know we don't talk about politics, but I have to do this. Tell me why you're voting for Joe Biden without saying Donald Trump's name. Tell me why you're picking NC State without saying a word about Clemson. You tell me what it is they do that you think can hang with this series of blue chippers that Clemson has. Oh, wait, there's nothing there.
Well, I mean, they run the ball pretty well, and their offense is pretty efficient. Going up against this Clemson defense, though, I'm not saying they're going to win. I think NC State can keep this game close.
I don't. I think they get their doors blown off.
You think so? This is the breakout game for DJ Uiagalelei?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And look, I shouldn't say I think they're going to get their doors blown off. The fact that they can run, I don't think you're going to do that against Clemson. Clemson's going to look at them and go, okay, Dennis Leary has to beat us. Or not, Devin Leary. God, fuck. I call him Dennis Leary every single time. He's going to have to beat us. And guess what? He can't do it. The most ardent, Patrick Holt is our resident NC State fan. You tell me, can Devin Leary hang with DJ Uiagalelei? The answer's no.
No.
The answer's no. And you're going to see 7-man boxes all game long because they know what you're going to try to do.
Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be a raucous atmosphere, and I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed with what I've seen with DJ Uiagalelei so far this season.
Were you impressed when he threw for 400 yards on Notre Dame last year?
Yeah. That was last year. What do you always tell me? Last year doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, because he regressed. Do you know what NC State's big-time throw percentage is? And here's what that means.
Big-time throw. Okay.
Big-time throw percentage is NFL-level throws, basically. How many of Devin Leary's throws have been not necessarily wide-open window, high-level, highly graded throws is what a big-time throw is?
3.
It's 9%. It's the highest of any team in college football.
Okay.
You think that's going to continue against Clemson. By the way, this is a team that just got run off the field by Mississippi State. And you're catching 10 against the 5th best team in the country. Yeah, I'm out. Go Tigers.
Do you think they can?
I didn't get to do that at Orgeron, so yeah, I'm going to do it again. Go Tigers.
Do you think that the Clemson defense can shut them out?
Shut them out? No. NC State's going to.
They haven't given up a touchdown
show what
yet.
They are. I mean, NC State's going to show like the. I know where I would have them. I'm trying to figure out where Vegas would have them. Oh. Where do you think NC State's ranked in the Vegas rankings?
And
yes, I do lay on these aggressively.
38.
57. They're one spot ahead of Nebraska.
Ooh.
That's where they rate, according to Vegas.
Yep.
There are times that I feel like Vegas dares you to do things. This is one of those. I feel like they have put that number just high enough that it will, like the pie on the windowsill to Bugs Bunny, and just come to me. And people will do it. And suckers just go,
do it.
And fall right into it and go right into a wood chipper.
Yep.
If I had to pick the score of this game, I'd say it's 38-17. I think Clemson's going to score a lot.
Okay. I do not. I haven't seen it yet, and except for the South Carolina State game, and that's South Carolina State. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. We were having the discussion before the show of what's the over-under on this game, because I will take the under all day long.
I won't.
47.
47 and a half.
47 and a half.
The half's important.
Down.
And I'm not just doing that because he went the other way.
Right.
Although that is a great way to pay for your house if you want to.
No, we truly do believe on opposite sides of this game. Mm-hmm. He's been saying all week he doesn't think so. I've been saying all week I think NC State at home can cover 10.
This is the week where you start seeing the cream rise to the top.
And better.
And you're going to see a very, very steady narrative with how I'm picking these games. Mm-hmm. This is where talent starts to win.
I'm on NC State plus the 10. He's taking Clemson to cover the 10. Number 14, Iowa State is at Baylor. Iowa State, their offense has looked sputtery all season long. Sputtery. That's right. Brock Purdy has not been Brock Purdy. Yeah, but the defense has been incredible. Mm-hmm. They got the number one defense in the country. Baylor has some high points, I guess. Jerry Bohannon's been good, but I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball well against Iowa State. And I think that what you think about Clemson, I think about Iowa State this week. This is the Iowa State breakout game. This is the week where
you see it?
Yeah, this is the offensive game where you go, oh, yeah, this is the Iowa State team that Jeremy was talking about in the preseason has got a chance to make the college football playoff.
Brock Purdy got benched. That's how bad this has been. Mm-hmm. I don't think it continues. This is one that I'm actually with the betting public. 60% of the tickets, 65% of the cash is on Iowa State.
Yep.
I'm taking Iowa State.
I am as well. Iowa State.
I wish this would come down to 6.5. I really would like to get this down to 6 and a hook. Mm-hmm. This is one that I might actually buy down, which I don't do very often.
What does that mean?
Buy it down?
Buy it down.
You can buy points back. So if the line is 7 and you're getting it at minus 105, you can buy points to take it at minus 115. And for me, it's worth that.
Okay.
It's worth it to me to get to underneath a touchdown because I could easily see this being 31 to 24. Mm-hmm. Then you sit right on the line. You have to kiss your sister.
Okay.
And I don't like that.
All right. I'm heavy on Iowa State. I think it's just a no-brainer that this is the week that they show up against a Power 5 team, put the pedal to the metal, and Baylor's not good.
Baylor's fine. Baylor's the top 50 team in college football.
Yeah.
I like Dave Aranda a lot. I don't think they're there yet. They're there yet.
All right, we got one at the Big House this week. Number 19, Michigan, hosting Rutgers. It's a huge number. Michigan's a 20-point favorite against Rutgers. I get Rutgers has, been the doormat of college football for so long. They do have Greg Schiano back, and that team is getting better. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, though, Michigan has just been running the ball down people's throats. And I understand that they haven't played a top opponent yet, but Rutgers isn't a top opponent.
I can't figure out which way you're going.
Well, I was kind of building.
I know, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
I'm going to go with Rutgers because I just don't know that Michigan can blow their doors off like they need to. Rutgers is one of the best teams in the country at forcing turnovers. What is one of the things that Michigan is great at? Stepping on their own dicks. Like, just because they haven't done it this year, that tells me it's time for them to do so. They're going to win this game. It's not going to be close. It's not going to be comfortable. I mean, it's going to be comfortable, but I don't know that I trust it to be a 3-score game. Do you?
Big Blue. I'm taking Michigan minus 29.
Okay.
Rutgers sucks.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I was on Rutgers at the beginning of this week, and then their best corner got arrested for shooting people with a paintball gun or some dumb shit.
Right.
That's going to have an effect. Because now he was the one high level. Rutgers is notorious for having pretty good secondary play. They've had a slew of NFL players. He was the only high level one they had. I think Michigan's going to be able to move the ball. I mean, I wouldn't like it at 24, but with it just under the hook at 20 and a half, I think it's about a 3-score game.
Okay.
Rutgers played way too close with Syracuse. That is a transitive property thing. Syracuse is one of those teams that if they can hang with you, you suck. Because they suck a lot.
I'm going to take Rutgers plus the 20. Like I said, Michigan's probably going to kill them, but I'm going to take the chances it's not going to be a massive blowout.
For posterity's sake, Rutgers in the Vegas rankings is behind the following teams: Nebraska, Utah, Tennessee, UT San Antonio, and they're one spot ahead of South Carolina. Big Blue.
Big Blue to cover the 20. At 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, you got number 24 UCLA at Stanford. Zach Charbonnet has been tearing it up since he transferred from Michigan to UCLA. I think that they are going to be able to do whatever they want to on the ground to Stanford.
So you're taking...
I think Stanford's still going to be in the game, though. But I still think UCLA is going to cover the 4.5.
Good. Makes me feel better about this. Stanford's my upset pick of the week.
Oh, you think they're going to win outright?
I think they're better than UCLA.
Okay.
Straight up, I think they're a better team than UCLA.
Okay.
UCLA won a couple, and guess who else agrees with me?
Vegas.
UCLA's at 50. Vegas never bought UCLA, and they still don't because they can't throw. So you get into these games with a team that's actually half-assed defensively, and you can't do anything. You know what it's really hard to do on the road? Where it's going to be loud, because Stanford fans are like, hey, we don't suck again! Because their one loss is to a Kansas State team that's pretty damn good. And they just throttled USC.
Tanner McKee taking over at quarterback for them has been a very good thing. He's hit 71% of his passes since he took over as a starting quarterback for the Cardinal. And UCLA has struggled against the pass.
Implied value, Stanford is the greatest implied value of the week. Any game, FBS, FCS, 22 dudes out in the field somewhere. They have the best implied value of any team on the slate.
Yep.
I'm heavy on Stanford. 71% of the money is on Stanford. 45% of tickets. What does that tell you? The heavy hitters like me are all on Stanford.
Okay. I'll take UCLA to cover the 4.5. I think it's a touchdown game. UCLA will win. You think Stanford wins outright?
I do.
Okay.
I don't think UCLA's good. I think
they are
smart
good.
coach like David Shaw knows that you can put 7 or 8 guys in the box, and they're just never going to beat you deep. Okay, Zach Charbonnet, fantastic for you. You're so talented. It's real easy to do that on Hawaii. You found it to be a little more difficult against Fresno State, who's not in the same ballpark as Stanford, athletically.
Okay.
They're coached very well, and I love their quarterback.
Jake Haener threw for 455 last week
with a broken soul. Yeah, he threw for 455 with a broken soul, or something. I don't know what was hurt on him, but it did. It looked very soul-y.
It was something. At 7 o'clock, Tennessee is at number 11 Florida, down in the swamp where the Gators they got oh so close against number 1 Alabama. And I have seen this narrative all week long of, oh, well, they were so close, they're going to be demoralized by not doing it against Alabama last week, and this could be the letdown spot for them. I'm out on that narrative.
I, honest to God, thought this number was going to be way higher. It's not.
No. It's 19. It's plenty high enough.
Not for me.
Oh, I'm taking Florida to cover the 19.
Easily.
It's no
This
question.
is one of those weeks
Tennessee's
where,
awful.
look, I've talked a lot of shit about Tennessee. Not as much as he has,
Nope.
Georgia boy.
Yep.
And somehow I catch the bullshit for your Tennessee hatred, but whatever. I don't buy Josh Heupel. And it's a markedly different offense. I mean, you got beat by a Pittsburgh team that just lost at home to Western Michigan. Mm-hmm. So now you got a pissed off Florida team. All right. You tell me how a team this bad is going to go into the swamp and even vaguely contend with them. This is one of those games that I could see being 38-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the stupid chomp, but I am taking Florida.
I just don't see how Tennessee's defense is going to be able to handle that zone run offense. I think they're
Athlete to athlete, Tennessee can't contend with them. Here's one thing I will tell you, and this is not a caveat. I'm not hedging. I'm just telling you. What percentage of the cash do you think is on Tennessee right now?
32.
You're too low.
That's dumb.
By a lot. It's 90.
What?
90% of the cash is on Tennessee right now.
Why?
I don't know. I do not.
Because they see a big number and go, oh, Florida and Tennessee, they're not that far apart.
There are people that look at rankings and ELOs and things like that, and Tennessee grades nicely in those things. Mm-hmm. You have to look at who they've played. Yeah. They played Bowling Green and Pittsburgh, and just none of these teams are good. So, of course, you look competent offensively. You think you're going to look competent offensively against a team that shut Alabama down for over a quarter? Mm-hmm. I don't.
I don't either. We're both on Florida minus the 19 at home against Tennessee. Nebraska, Michigan State. Sparty is up to number 20 in the country now, and it's all because of that Wake Forest kid, Kenneth Walker III. He's been unbelievable. He was averaging like 10 yards a carry coming into last week's game. Unfortunately, he only ran for 172 yards on 27 carries against Miami, so his yardage per carry dropped. So he's now at like 7 yards a carry. I think Michigan State's going to be able to run the ball down their throats. And I don't know that Nebraska can stop them. Now, Nebraska surprised the hell out of everybody last week against Oklahoma. I thought everybody thought Spencer Rattler, they're just going to tear them apart, and they didn't.
That said more to me about who Oklahoma is than about who Nebraska is.
Mm-hmm. I got Michigan State covering the 5 easy against Nebraska.
This is another one of those, just look at who these teams are. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard to figure out. Mm-hmm. Nebraska's not good. It's on the road. I hate bad teams on the road. 75% of the money is on Michigan State, and mine will be too. Mm-hmm. Sparty.
Yep. I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want to offensively. Peyton Thorne, the quarterback for Michigan State, he's been playing well the last couple of games. And, Nebraska just, they struggle with stopping the run. They give out 156 rushing yards a game. And you're going up against one of the best young transfer kids in college football, in Kenneth Walker. I think he's going to have a fine game. So, yeah, heavy on Michigan, minus the 5.
Can you name any other player for Michigan State other than Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, Peyton Thorne. I just talked about him.
I've just heard you say Kenneth Walker about 47 times.
Well, yeah, because he's the guy to talk about. You wonder what happened with this Michigan State team, why it's turned around. He's the reason to me. I give him more credit for the turnaround than I do give Mel Tucker for it. Number 25, Kansas State is a 5.5-point dog on the road at Oklahoma State.
This is one that I like a great deal.
You like a great deal? Would you like to do the setup?
Purple power. Let's go Wildcats. I think Kansas State is just markedly better than Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
The reason this number moved is because Oklahoma State beat Boise. That's it. It was a dead heat game, and Boise can't win. But Boise could not close them out, and allowed Oklahoma State to. There were a lot of mistakes in the fourth quarter. I think Kansas State is. I'm not going to say they're the best coach team in the Big 12. I will say they're the second best coach team in the Big 12.
Okay.
And I like Mike Gundy. He's a mulleted man like me.
He's a man. He's 40. I saw that yesterday. It was 14 years ago yesterday that he did the I'm a man, I'm 40 bit. Deuce Vaughn has been incredible for Kansas State. That little 5'6" running back, and they will continue to move the ball well on the ground. I just don't think Oklahoma State's going to keep it close. It's going to be a touchdown, probably. It might be a 2-touchdown game.
I will tell you this, and this is a bit of a hedge. Vegas loves them some Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Oklahoma State's 17.
They like Oklahoma State in this game particularly, or just overall?
No, just overall, just in the rankings.
Okay.
They're a little lower on Kansas State than I am. They're a little higher on Oklahoma State. I have those two teams very, very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take Kansas State.
Don't forget, you can use betus.com, the promo code Sportsocracy. Get your 125% deposit match today just for using our promo code. Unfortunately, as it was talked about in the comments just a second ago, it's not available everywhere, but in the United States, mostly. Most anywhere you can go.
That's bullshit. I might have to have a talk.
Well, apparently they can't get it up in Canada. So.
We're going to have a talk. I know these people quite well.
Right.
Let's get your shit right. We have Canadians that really won't delay wagers, damn it.
Exactly. Betus.com is the website. Promo code Sportsocracy. Again, the deposit match 125%. Let's see here. And things you should be looking at the Bet Us line and call it out each time you say a line. Example, the Bet Us line is 4.5. I got these from Bet Us.
Yeah, but you have to say the sponsor's name.
Oh.
Repeatedly.
Okay.
It's +3 for Jason Trump.
I got these lines from Bet Us. All right, so it's 4.5 now instead of 5.5 for Kansas State. I have no idea. That was the latest. That was the last one that we just gave. So I'm guessing that it's for Kansas State.
No, it's still. As a matter of fact, I got it at 6.
Okay.
Tank hasn't quite figured out that line movement happens about every 14 seconds.
Yeah,
that's why I use consensus and then give the Bet Us line.
Aha. Well, excuse me. No, I pulled these off of Bet Us right before the show started.
Well, at least you didn't
today.
pull them 3 days ago like you did the other day. That's always fun. I pulled these lines 3 days ago. Sweet. Those mean
absolutely jack shit.
Those mean less than a polling place in Arizona.
Right.
I have to get the political shit in while I can because like a week from now, I'll never be able to do that again. So I gotta get my little jabs in while I can.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of which, we have new shit coming, and it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
That's right. We've been building on it for a while, and we're getting closer to the time. We're getting closer to announce time. At 7:30 on Saturday night, number 4 Oklahoma hosts West Virginia. Go ahead and sing it. You know you want to.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
It does get better when he's drunk.
It does.
You know.
Oh, yeah, if you ever see me sing that drunk, I should have gone home 6 beers ago.
Because pretty soon he's going to start crying.
Yeah, I mean, that is the number one precursor to Jeremy is about to cry aggressively. And I don't ever do that because I might rust. So, This is one of the hardest games of the week to me.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's a whole mess of shit that I've gotten wrong time and time again. I don't buy Oklahoma at all.
I don't either. And that's why this one was easy for me. West Virginia, I get that they're at Norman, but I really don't care. Oklahoma has not looked good. There has been nothing that I have seen from Spencer Rattler that makes me believe that he is the Heisman frontrunner that they were hyping him up to be. I think that I think the West Virginia offense is good enough. I'm not saying they're going to pull out an upset on the road, but I don't know that I'd be super shocked if it happened. So to me, a 17-point spread is ridiculous. West Virginia plus 17 on the road at Oklahoma. I'm all over it.
And see, it's not to me. It's just not. Do you know what Oklahoma has done to them in this since West Virginia joined the Big 12?
They've never beaten them.
No, they've never beaten them, but that's not my point. Here are the scores of the games between these two teams.
Okay.
16-7, 45-33, 44-24, 56-28. I might have been at that game. 59-31, 59-56, and 52-14.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't set up what you get Spencer Rattler, I get Jared Dagey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not good for me.
No, it's not.
I'm taking Oklahoma.
Okay.
I understand the West Virginia defense is good. I think people are overvaluing them because of what they saw against Virginia Tech last week. If Virginia Tech couldn't have played dead in the Western inside the 20, they'd have lost.
Yeah.
And I love West Virginia, but I can't get the memory. I remember specifically sitting in the stands, enjoying myself. It was the Saturday night game of the week on ABC, and we got dog fucked. I want to say it was 28-0 in the first quarter.
That's a new one.
I mean, it was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were down 28-0 at one point. And I want to say it was at the end of the first quarter.
Right.
They had just dogged us. And there's something about that scheme. I don't know what it is. It hasn't mattered who the quarterback was. It hasn't mattered any of the things. I'm taking Oklahoma.
Okay.
I thought, to be honest with you, my first thought last week, when I saw West Virginia beat Virginia Tech, well, it was my second thought, because my first thought was, fuck Justin Fuente. Mm-hmm. Why did I fall for this? I stick to your guns.
Mm-hmm.
My second thought was, that line's going to move against Oklahoma, and I'm going to be all over it. Sticking to my guns, Boomer Schooner.
I can't do it. I haven't seen enough from Oklahoma that makes me believe.
I haven't either.
That
I'm telling you that West Virginia offense is bad.
I mean, look, they beat Western Carolina 76-0. So
who cares?
The boys from Cullowhee,
who cares?
But that's the only game that they've looked good in. That's my point.
And what I'm saying is, we're to the point now where you're in conference. This is a little different. The pressure of preparing for a game, I'll use Clemson and Oklahoma at the same time. The difference of preparing for South Carolina State or whoever else versus NC State, or for Oklahoma, the difference preparing for Tulane versus West Virginia is just markedly different. This is a game you cannot lose. And that's how I just look at Lincoln Riley and go, he's going to have his guys ready to play. Because if you lose this game, the rest of the season doesn't mean jack shit. I'm taking Oklahoma. Okay. I don't think this game's ever close.
All right.
I don't think West Virginia can shoot out with them. Period.
All right. I'll be on the West Virginia side. You be on the Oklahoma side. We'll just agree to disagree. Do you have any other big college football picks that you're just drunk on this week?
I have a lot of them.
Well,
we have a whole segment for that.
I know, obviously, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on the ESPN Asheville show, as we do every Friday, not only are we going to be picking the NFL games with Chief David Zack of the Asheville Police Department.
And here's the thing. We can't be any worse than we've been. It's not physically possible.
Don't say that.
It's not physically possible.
It's 100% physically possible.
Maybe for you. This is the worst 2 weeks I've ever had in the NFL. So,
you meant
don't
NFL
call
picks.
it a comeback.
Oh. You meant NFL picks. I thought you were talking about the college picks. I was like, there's 100% a chance that you could be worse than you have been.
This has been 2 of the worst weeks I've ever had in college football.
You've been even every week we've done this so far. So, I'm
a 59% gamer.
I understand.
Against the spread.
I understand.
And I bet every fucking game.
I understand.
This is one of the worst 2-week stretches I've ever had. Which means Monday, I have this funny feeling that I'm going to come in victorious as 12-4 against the spread in the NFL.
Right. But we'll be picking, of course, all of the NFL games with Asheville Police Chief David Zack at 4 o'clock hour tomorrow on ESPN Asheville. But also at the end of each hour, Jeremy gives his Greene on Greene picks of the week. He's got 2 6-packs for you at the end of every hour. The second 6-pack is all underdogs. And I've taken several underdogs today that I thought you were going to be on, but you haven't. So now I'm really interested, just
dogs.
Like everybody else, to see the dogs that you come up with tomorrow.
I got dogs, baby, and they are barking at the gate, ready to get out.
Now, tonight in the NFL, we got Thursday night football. We will not have an afternoon show on ESPN Asheville today because of Atlanta Braves baseball.
But we will be putting out a ton of content today.
Yes, we are.
If your team has not been put out on YouTube so far this week, they will today.
Yes, we're going to be getting out all those individual team-by-team temperature of the start of the season videos coming up today. But let's take this time to talk about Thursday night football.
Before we do that, you as our loyal constituency, anytime you see those NFL team videos go out, even if it's not your team, you'll just click on it, let it run through. As soon as you do that, it opens. I'll explain this to you the same way it was explained to me. When we submit those out, 25 people see them. Mm-hmm. The 25 most likely people to interact with them. As soon as one of you does that, we hit another 25. If all 25 of you do that, then we hit like 25,000. So just if you could, it'd be awful nice. We would appreciate it greatly.
Tonight on Thursday Night Football, the Carolina Panthers at the Houston Texans. 8:20 start, of course, on the NFL Network. Christian McCaffrey and company, to me, it's a no-brainer. To me, I don't think this game's going to be close. I think that defense is going to get after the Texans. In 2 weeks, the Carolina Panthers have 10 sacks on the season. That's 2 more than any other team in football, and it is a slew more than half of the league. They have been getting after quarterbacks, and that's not going to stop. They're taking on Davis Mills tonight. I look for a bunch of turnovers for the Carolina defense tonight. There will be several sacks in this game. If you're playing fantasy football, hope you got the Carolina Panthers defense this week, because I can see some big points being put up by the defense.
You want me to tell you a fun aberration?
What's that?
The Houston Texans are the highest implied value in the NFL this week. They're the highest implied value in the NFL.
That's ridiculous.
I don't disagree with you. I really don't. But I'm trying to figure out what it is that people are seeing. Are you really that much getting duped by a boat racing of the Jacksonville Jaguars and
a 10-point loss to Cleveland?
You stayed close with Cleveland. Well, here's the thing. Tyrod Taylor's not here. So now you're playing a quarterback in Davis Mills who has not taken first-team reps on a short week on the road against the team with the most sacks in the NFL.
No, to
me, that's easy.
Davis is at home. Houston's
it's at Houston?
Yeah, it's at Houston.
For some reason, I thought this was in Carolina.
No.
Okay, take that last thing off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They opened up the first 2 weeks of the season.
They did.
You're right. And to be honest with you, I don't even care about that.
I don't either.
You had 2 days of reps, and now you're coming up against the team with the most sacks in the NFL.
Yep.
Now, I will say, Thursdays are weird, and I fully understand that. As of right now, the cash ticket splits, you're 59% of the cash on 28% of the tickets are on the Houston Texans. That's weird to me because I can't for the life of me wrap my head around. I mean, and we're talking at -7, -8, where this line was.
I think they're doing the week-to-week comparison. They're doing the week-to-week comparison of Houston stayed in there better with Cleveland than we thought they would, and we believe that Cleveland is markedly better than the Carolina Panthers. That's not what we believe. I'm saying I think that's what the public believes.
And the Carolina Panthers just took a New Orleans Saints team that took Green Bay out behind the woodshed, and they wedged their head in a fence and had their way with them.
Mm-hmm. But I think the Saints get dinged for that more than the Panthers get credit for it, because Jameis Winston was god-awful, and that's Jameis Winston.
And to me, that's stupid.
I agree.
The consensus on this right now is at -8. It started at -4.5. I don't see it, and I don't get it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas power rankings in the NFL, Carolina's at 16, right around where I had them. You know where Houston is? Take a stab at it.
No clue.
There's only 32 spots, so just take a random stat. Where would you have Houston?
In the rankings?
In power rankings.
They're my 31, I think. 30.
It's exactly where they are for Vegas, too.
Yeah.
The only team in the NFL behind them is the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
They're behind the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their implied point spread rating. I want you to understand what I'm getting ready to say here. The implied point spread rating on Houston is against the dead average team in the NFL on a neutral field. They would be a 6.5-point dog.
Okay.
The dead average team in the NFL is the Carolina Panthers. That's the reason this number is off.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting the 3-point swing for the home. The implied value in Vegas would be at 3.5. I don't buy that. I think what Carolina does travels well. I really don't see a path to Houston keeping this close.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't see how it's going to happen. I understand all the metrics. I understand all the numbers. I see how you're getting there. I don't see how you pull the trigger on that. I don't see how you go to BetUs.com, use promo code Sportsocracy to get 125% of your initial deposit. Had to. You click on the Houston Texans and you go, yep, that's what I'm going to do. That'll go tremendously. I can't wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, Carolina -8. I'm all over them to cover the number. And we usually pick over-unders as well, so the over-under is 43.
I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go under because I don't think Houston's going to contribute to that total very much.
You don't think Houston scores more than
Thursday night
10
games
points?
Notoriously go under the number.
Yeah.
Notoriously go under the number. I can't remember exactly how the stat goes. I'll have to go back and look at it. But over the course of the last 2 years on Thursday Night Football, I have bet the under like 80% of the time. And it has hit like 65% of the time or something.
Wow.
I mean, it's some astronomical set of numbers like that.
Wow.
Thursday Night Football, it's just weird. Short week, you don't get to install a lot of things. And that could be another part of why the number's laying so hard on Houston. They're undervaluing the fact that Davis Mills was not a pro-ready quarterback in the first place. The receiving corps is not good. There's not going to be the only plus matchup is probably going to be Brandon Cooks on Dante Jackson, and Dante Jackson can run with him.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot here for me to like.
I could see Houston scoring 17 in this game.
I
get
can't.
A couple of touchdowns, a field goal.
I can't see Houston scoring 17 if Carolina only played with 8 people.
Well, here's the flip side of that. I can see the Carolina Panthers scoring double that on Houston.
I can't.
34-17 to me.
You're undervaluing the short week. The install for Houston would have been different for the install for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
You're riding a high. Mm-hmm. You're on the road. Short week. And just remember, Sam Darnold's not super comfortable in this offense yet.
Agreed.
So that short week is going to be, I don't think there's going to be a lot of points. I have this game probably 20-3. Be somewhere in that neighborhood, 24-7. But every number I ever threw out of what could I see this game ending up at, every one of them was on the under.
Yeah.
I never got to 43 points, not one time.
Okay.
So taking Carolina, going under the number.
I think this can be a big week for Christian McCaffrey, at least touchdown-wise. I think they can score on Houston.
Oh, I'm not saying they can't score on Houston. No. I'm saying you got to look at the scenario of the game.
Sure. I understand. So anyway, there's your pick for Thursday Night Football. Again, we will not have an afternoon show today on ESPN Asheville. Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene will return tomorrow with all of your picks for the weekend. NFL, college picks as well, Jeremy's underdogs of the week, all of it coming your way on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene. Of course, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We'll be back here tomorrow morning to talk some NFL football as we'll get you ready for the fantasy week.
Oh, God, Michael Whiteside just gave me the greatest fucking idea.
What's that?
Just look for it later today. It'll be on the Facebook page.
Okay.
So good. So good.
Plus, we'll have all that team-by-team content coming out for you. Or we're gonna cut it all today, and we'll be sprinkling it out on the YouTube channel. So be sure you've hit that subscribe button so you see all of our individual content as it comes out here, and as well be with us every time that we are live here in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. We'll see you in the morning.